911, where's your emergency? I don't know if somebody around has just started shooting for no reason.
The thing about my family is I would protect them with my life, but can't really go to my brother and my dad and be like, yeah, I just killed their mom.
Mr. Anime comes from an era of YouTube where influencers were still in their infancy, and YouTube was a place where you would share your passion just because you enjoy certain things in your life. Mr. Anime, otherwise known as Trey Cecil, was at first glance a simple guy from Texas, US. As a kid, he was described as a quiet boy, with people commenting that something felt a bit off with him, like the case when Trey was 13 years old and he called the police while he was hiding in the woods near his house armed with a bat. According to the police, Trey started to seeing shadowy figures who would follow him around. This mysterious creature made him scared, and that's why he called the cops. After interviewing the young boy, the police also revealed to the public that he wanted to visit his best friend and shoot him for no reason. Thanks to God, this didn't work out as the young Trey planned. This case would lead to Trey being evaluated by a psychiatrist who said that everything was just alright with him. Sadly, the psychiatrist was wrong about this. I mean, there is a reason behind why is he featured on this list.
My brother's lying there in this big pile of blood. It's terrible. It's just a bad sight. And I was like, okay.
Jumping to 2006, where Trey started his channel under the name Mr. Anime, where he would, like his name says, talk about anime. He would review different series and also make comedic skits on the side. He was on a path to make it big, as in 2011 he made a video that reached 1 million views, which was definitely huge for the time. YouTube was a place where he could talk about the things he enjoyed the most and interacting with like-minded people. Not so much like in real life, where he wasn't amongst the popular crowd in the school. People who knew him commented that he had only few friends, but everyone who approached him says he was a quite a nice guy. Trey wasn't a guy who was much into school. He wanted to pursue his passion with YouTube and find a simple workplace. Because of this, he decided to leave the college he attended, and this resulted that his relationship with his father started to deteriorate. This went so far that Trey said he would kill him in front of his friends, who didn't take him too seriously at the time. But since he was a young boy, his relationship with his family wasn't the best out there, and that was one of the reasons why he moved out to his grandmother. The biggest problem again was his father, and he even said that he was his best friend. His brother would also help him with his YouTube channel from time to time. Because he didn't finish school, he was actively searching for jobs, but he never stayed too long at one place. A very crucial thing we need to address is 3 things about Mr. Anime. 3 things he loves and he is obsessed with. And the 3 things are creating videos, enjoying anime, and firearms. Due to the passing of his grandmother whom he lived with, the loneliness started to get to him. This is when a personality change happened and he went on a dark path. He started to enjoy watching and researching about shootings. He was amazed by the shooters that he even started to plan how to do such a horrible act. This personality change affected his videos also, where his videos at the beginning were down to earth without sugarcoating anime reviews and often funny scripted scenes. He started to be more and more weird, to saying things that felt a bit out of touch.
How you doing, everyone? It's Mr. Anime, or you can call me Trey. You can call me the guy that does the video game reviews, you can call me the guy that does all the gun stuff now. What I have here today to show you is a high point.
And more we could see that guns are a prominent topic on his channel.
I'm a firearms owner myself, but it is a little bit disturbing to know that you could be a victim in something like this at these times. All the people that were victims, you think it won't happen to me, but sometimes it does. But seriously, every day I open Yahoo, I'm like, well, time to see what today shoot.
2011 was a year when strange things started to happen. First, somehow his family animals went missing. Later it was also discussed online that people in his area would see Trey running at night with a gun and shooting at empty buildings and even animals. Some claim they even see Trey setting also things on fire. But there is also one more thing that plagued this troubled mind, and that was heavy alcohol abuse. This leads us eventually to 2012, when Trey made a video called Mr. Anime is planning something, telling his viewers that he is going to reward himself with 2 or 3 weeks break from YouTube. The reason behind this is that he found a new job, and simply because of this he won't be much on YouTube. But this was all a lie.
This is just an update video to let you guys know that I'm going to reward myself with probably a 2 or 3 week break coming up here from YouTube videos, anime reviews in particular. I might do some blog stuff. I want to thank you guys a lot for sticking with me and watching the channel.
On March 19, 2012, Trey was drinking heavily. The day later, still hungover and somewhat under the buzz, he decided to jump into his car and drive to his family house. Upon arriving, he yelled for his mother from the garage. The mother, worried about the noise, she went to the garage, and to her surprise, she saw her son, completely muddle-headed, with a shotgun in his hand aimed at her chest. Trey then proceeded to shoot her point-blank range 4 times in the chest. Rhonda, his mother, died instantly. In the later police confession, he stated that he didn't want to do it, but it was already done and there was no turning back. I think that bothered him was how he could explain to his father and brother that his mom was now dead. Because of this, there was no way back.
The thing about my family is I would protect them with my life, but at the same time, if anyone was going to hurt him, it was going to be me.
The sounds of the shotgun echoed through the house. His brother was confused about what just happened. His brother then started to call for Trey. After seeing him, Trey shot his brother and his best friend cold-blooded at a short range in the head. Because all of this noise, the father was confused and woke up from the bed. He went to see what was happening and saw Trey already waiting. What the hell is going on? Trey came up to his father and shot him 2 times in the head. Mr. Anime then explained later to the police how he would go back to every family member in the house just to make sure nobody was alive and nobody was suffering, because that's something he didn't want.
I don't want anyone to be suffering, laying on the floor for hours, moaning and groaning.
He didn't just kill him, okay? He massacred him.
Then he suddenly discovered that his brother was missing, and he was still alive, even if barely. He managed to crawl into the bathroom and locked himself in. Trey, in rage, breaks the bathroom door. After entering, he saw his brother lying on the bathroom floor in a puddle of blood in a fatal position. He then proceeded to put him out of his misery. But this wasn't the end, as he then went to his mother, who was laying in the garage, and shot her also, just one more time to be sure. He later stated in an interview, "The thing about family is, I would protect them with my life, but if anyone is going to hurt them, it would be me." Suddenly, reality hit Trey in the face, finally realizing what he did. This led that Trey proceeded to trash and wreck the whole house. The police would later discover various quotes on the walls like, "Why did I do this? I love my mom, father and brother," or "I will never forgive my state of mind." In his rage, he also killed the remaining pets that were found around the house. He then jumped into his 2010 black Mustang, taking his rifle with him. Because of the noise, the neighbors called the police to check out of what is happening. And upon arriving, the police had a terrible scene to witness. They were first greeted with a quote on the front door, "I will never forgive myself. I don't know why I did this. God forgive me." The police would then describe the house as looking like a war zone. The police then quickly jumped into the cars to find this man, and they managed to find Trey located at his friend's house just 24 hours later. He was charged with 3 murders and was sentenced to life in prison. But the question is, why this 22-year-old would do such a horrible act? And they then found his real plan. Trey, after the horrible deed, drove his Mustang to his old school, Walner Junior High, where he was parked for quite some time, looking at the Walner's high school homecoming game. When he was asked what he was doing then, he stated,
I was thinking, well, I could creep across the field and open up on the home stand and probably cause more mayhem with people trying to get away.
And listen to Sessler's response when the Texas Rangers asked him how often he thought about it.
I don't think a period of 2 or 3 days ever went by that I didn't think about some sort of violence.
He then confessed he wanted to commit a mass shooting because he was planning this for quite some time, and he wanted to set the highest body count for such an event ever. He wanted to be remembered like the Columbine school shooter. The plan was to murder at least 70 people. Then he even addressed the rumors online, and he was for a fact going out at night doing target practice just to be prepared to invade the school at the game time so he could take as much as life as possible until he was caught or shot by the police. But some of you now think, but why did Trey kill his family in the first place? Trey answered this with a simple answer. He didn't want that his family feel the shame for his actions, so in mercy he killed them all so that they don't feel ashamed. But then a change of heart happened after he realized that his sick and twisted fantasies were real, and he could not bear the reality that he had taken a human life. To make it even worse, those were the lives of the people he loved the most. In August of 2012, Trey Sessler pled guilty to the murders of his parents and brother. He was automatically handed a sentence of life in prison. After the sentencing, his defensive attorney, Franklin Blazek, commented, "This is a great tragedy, and there was no good outcome." So Trey felt comfortable with the sentence, and the survivors of the victims can have now closure. This community will be protected. That seemed like the best outcome. After the police searched his place, they found some disturbing details about his life. Remember how his YouTube channel was based on writing critics in the most real way possible? He did the same things with serial killers because he was literally obsessed with them, researching every tiny detail about them and even rating them. And he would take great inspiration from them, mostly because he would use their tactics to perfect his own. His YouTube channel was ultimately terminated in September of 2020. This is a very sad story of an individual who was rejected from being different. As rejection and despair grew, the internet offered comfort he needed. But the struggles with mental health, family issues, and addiction became overwhelming. It ended in a tragedy that will be remembered for quite some time. The only positive outcome of this is that he had a change of heart and faced reality. He felt some remorse and guilt and didn't follow the footsteps of the infamous Columbine shooter.
It is a little bit disturbing to know that you could be a victim in something like this at these times. All the people that were victims, you think it won't happen to me, but sometimes it does. But seriously, every day I open Yahoo, I'm like, well, time to see what today shoot.
Are liars? No. I see you, motherfucker.
Minecraft is a popular game nowadays, but if we can go back a few years, around 2012, it was the biggest and the most trendy game on the whole internet. Notch's creation took over the world like a storm. The reasons are the addicting gameplay the game has, but also the somewhat simple art style. But also I think we need to address that many of the people who are playing Minecraft are kids. It didn't take too long for older people to start to play and stream Minecraft, which was a huge trend at the time. Because of that, many people acquire big fan bases due to playing and talking about Minecraft. A problem we often see on YouTube and overall in the internet is when adults acquire underage audiences. Because of the boom of the commentary videos in Minecraft, it would lead that some really sick and twisted individuals slipped to the cracks and started to exploit their young fan base. Let me tell you now the story of a depraved YouTuber who managed to gain an audience of 800,000 subscribers. Marcos Wilton is a Brazilian-Swiss former Minecraft YouTuber, born on July 7th, 1988, better known as Lion Maker, starting his channel in 2012. Something he was known for is his cheerful personality, but also how he played hide and seek on Minecraft servers. He really managed to connect the audience in such a way they really felt like they were playing the game with him.
No! Oh no, my goodness! No! Run, Balls! Run!
He used to collaborate with many popular YouTubers at the time, like Stampy Longhead and LD Shadowlady. This resulted that he managed to acquire a big and healthy fan base. His career was bright on YouTube, gaining and growing as the time passes. Sadly, this story has a dark twist to it. Remember Keemstar? We can't get rid of this guy. Like, he crossed the whole Iceberg chart. So Keemstar, on September 15, 2015, managed to get in contact with the mother of apparently one of the victims that Lion Maker groomed. Also, a thing to mention is that Lion Maker is calling his followers cubs, which makes this situation even more unsettling, at least for me. He made a video called Angry Mother. Lion Maker asks Minecraft kids for nudes. The mother says how the girl started following Lion Maker and she was a big fan. At one point, Lion Maker apparently wanted to move her conversation from Twitter or X to Skype. The girl frantically started to jumping in her living room and asks her mother if she is allowed to go on Skype with him.
Then he asked her to send nudes.
What is your reaction at that? I mean, it's a 27-year-old man asking your 13-year-old daughter for nudes.
Well, at this point in time, I didn't know he was 27 or 26 or whatever age he's supposed to be.
Now, everybody took this video at face value and simply believed the story of the mother, how her 13-year-old daughter was basically groomed by Lion Maker, with screenshots provided. This whole situation felt a bit off, somehow due to the storytelling of the mother. Also, bear in mind, if you decided to watch this video, which is still online, it is really painful to watch because of how the mother is presenting the story.
Lion, he wants to Skype with me.
Lion Maker saw the video and proceeded to deny everything and said he was hacked. The YouTube community definitely felt a bit suspicious about that. This drama slowly faded away, but another allegation popped up in December 24, 2015, where a video was posted that provides evidence how Lion Maker offered a young boy aged 15 $500 for nudes. Of course, this video again was reposted by Keemstar.
A few people have come forward with their stories about Lion Maker. A 16-year-old boy known as Steven Chiniques came out with a video titled My Crazy Experience with Lion Maker Studios with proof.
Keemstar explains that the boy of the video says he was friends with Lion Maker since he was 14. They would often joke around, with some of the jokes being gay and even some of them being like Lion Maker would come to his house at night and SA him, but at the age of 15 he started to send him adult websites, which made the boy a bit uncomfortable. But this wasn't the end, as Lion Maker then offered him money for nudes. This was once again a story how Lion Maker tried to groom a minor. Suddenly a public outcry started on YouTube. Lion Maker made a video crying and said that he was simply hacked once again. He then stated in the video they should just remember the good times they have and that this was simply not true.
It's going to be okay. Dear friend, do you remember the times that I took out of my time, out of my energy to be there for you, dear friend?
It was a very odd video to say at least. He then stated in the video this was all slander, everybody's wrong, and he will proceed to take down every video about him. Many commentary channels jumped on and provided some analysis of this situation.
Who is a pedophile who has been trying to hook up with children, who is dating or was dating a 15-year-old and posted child porn on his Twitter.
But there was one guy known as Colossal Crazy, which made a video where he basically said that he was in a relationship almost 10 years younger than him. He was 27 at the time and the girl 16.
And a Minecraft YouTuber sending a picture of her f***ing asshole to a man that is over a decade older than her.
Hey everybody, I'm Paige Depender, and hi.
He doesn't even deny she's 16. I mean, there was even some evidence to suggest that she was younger than that when they first met. But at the end of the day, there's at least an 11-year age gap.
Because of this, and because of the target audience of Colossal, he claims that he deserves to be deplatformed from YouTube.
What I do know is that even if Lionmaker is telling the truth about everything, he does not deserve to keep his channel. His audience are vulnerable children, and he was in a relationship with a girl over a decade his junior. With the allegations he's facing, it is disgusting to me that YouTube has allowed him to go unnoticed and continue to make videos.
These stories completely consumed his life and YouTube career. He tried to make it right, but it simply didn't end up like he wanted. He went on a live interview with Colossal where they talk about his standpoints on this situation. Lionmaker wanted to clear his name, but he was obviously not prepared for the questions from Colossal Crazy, which were the most obvious questions in the world, and this video backfired very hard.
Lionmaker, are you attracted to children?
No.
You are not?
No.
What age would you consider a child? Below 16 or below 18?
I tend to call my brother, which is 21, a kid, and I treat him as a child, so to say.
And how old is he?
He's 21.
You would consider a child 21 years of age?
Well, a child, a kid, you know. But if we go children, I would say 11, 12, I would consider a child, and then starting from that, preteen.
But you wouldn't consider a 13, 14 a child?
No, a child, yes. No. I see what you're doing here, but at the end of the day, like...
It's a very important question.
No, I understand that. Yeah.
The Lionmaker channel was deleted at the beginning of 2018, but there were just a few people who really cared about this. Then his ex would sue him for being abusive and even stated that he was in jail, even for a brief time. But just 1 year later, Lionmaker wanted to go back to YouTube to clean his name and show everybody was wrong, and he even started to react into every video which was about him. But this second channel was also deleted. He then went on a podcast with Wacky TV, basically blaming everything on his mental state, but most of his audience didn't care anymore. Sadly, there are many people like him that plague the Minecraft community. The problem is often the predators are only discovered when it's too late. The next individual on this Iceberg chart list is called Jason Wyoming, otherwise known as V1I. This guy is well known for his bird nest as a hare. Jason spent his early years in a cozy cottage in Yardley, Hastings. When he was about 6 years old, his family relocated to Carmel, a town in Wales. However, 6 months later, they moved again. Because of this, in 2009, Jason began experiencing some depression, leading him to isolate himself in a room for months on end. He struggled with self-harm and starvation, causing him to lose many friends over the course of nearly 2 years. At the age of 17, he made a decision to leave school and secure himself a full-time job as a housekeeper at a hotel. Jason then decided in the spring of 2012 to move out of his home and settle in the southern part of London. It was a time where he already created his YouTube channel and began gradually attracting more and more audience. His channel was simple, he just wanted to entertain his Facebook friends. His crazy hairstyle and bright personality made people tune in more and more over time. I would consider them like vlog types video where he would tell stories of his life with sketches. Jason slowly acquired a fanbase and landed at 400,000 subscribers, a number some can only dream of. This all sounds good at first, but there is a reason why he featured on this list. To unravel this story, we need to look at one individual we already covered on this list, called Sam Pepper, and I love how this all ties together. Around the time of the Sam Pepper sexual abuse allegation, Jason was also accused of a horrible act. Jason met a girl called Enya. They became friends, but their relationship was mostly online. Because of that, they finally decided to meet up in person. Jason decided to book a hotel in London so they can finally meet and spend some time together. When that day finally happened, they decided to buy some alcohol because the girl was a bit shy and Jason thought she would be more relaxed then. Also a thing to note is that Anya complied with that. Jason, being a bit older and more experienced with alcohol, made her very drunk, to the point that the girl wasn't completely herself anymore. Jason then proceeded to take the advantage of the situation and proceeded to sexually abuse her. Jason was at the time 20 and Enya only 15.
Sure as to whether this is just my perspective on it. I'm pretty sure that this was what he was thinking of, because later on, after this happened, he messaged me with this message saying, "Awesome, not seen you in ages and I'm getting you drunk again for the lols." It's really funny. Nothing I did was non-consensual, but I feel like with the amount of alcohol that he had sort of given me, I wasn't in the right state of mind to make choices like that, and that he knew that and was making sure of it. I'd also just like to remind you that at the time I was 15 and he was 20.
Enya made a video about this and it went viral with almost 1 million views. She also provided a screenshot that backed up the theory that he made her drunk, and Jason also stated in the screenshot that was all fun and that they should do that again. After she posted the video, Jason came up with an apology video saying because of his strict Mormon upbringings, when he became an adult and moved out, he was suddenly introduced to a whole new set of people who had participated in sex, drugs, alcohol, etc. He says that because of his upbringings, he didn't have someone to tell him what the rules are when it comes to sex and alcohol, and that he made a few mistakes on the way. But he didn't break some arbitrary rule. In this case, he raped an underage girl that is literally breaking the law, not some random codex or some made up rules. The apology goes on and on. But this was sadly not the end of this chapter. At the time, one more girl wanted to come out and wanted to share her story. The girl's name was Jody and she was 16 at the time. In the video she told when she was 15, she met Jason on a concert, where Jason pursued her into sexting and wanting nudes, but the girl quickly managed to get out of this messy situation.
Because he was still that YouTuber that I looked up to. Recently we were talking, and regardless to me being sat next to my friend, he was asking me to send him naked pictures and sext him. At one point he even told me to go to the bathroom for privacy and do it there. I said something along the lines of, "I can't. I'll be gone too long and she'll notice." But
allegedly there were many more girls out there that were underage, because Jason stated he would sleep with multiple girls in 1 week span. But sadly only a few of these cases were archived online, most of them stating where he would use alcohol to get his way with the girls, which were definitely too young for any of this. He vanished from YouTube. But this was not the end of Jason. But he made a comeback as a hippie travel guy and started using psychedelics along the way. To keep it just a bit short, he told the world how he lost everything due to the events that happened in his life. A quote that I found very lame is how he stated that the year 2014 is still impacting his life. However, he failed to mention how his actions impacted the people he was in contact with. No remorse was found in that video whatsoever.
Wagon that was happening, they went after all my streams of income. YouTube banned me from Google AdSense for 6 months. I lost my manager, I lost my network, I lost all my brand deals, some of my sponsored videos got ripped down, I lost my Patreon, I lost 2 online stores. I guess this is my punishment. Like, people want to see me suffer and it brings them joy to hurt other people.
This was quite a rabbit hole to dive in. There are few more entries before we finish this iceberg. If you enjoyed this video, remember to subscribe, hit that like button, it would mean a lot. If you want to take a step further, check out my Patreon. I've been Snorky, and until the next week deep dive, stay safe.